Have you ever woken up, looked in the mirror, and thought, asterisk, why does my face look swollen when I did everything right? Asterisk, you drank the water, you used your skincare, you even went to bed early, and still there it is, puffiness. Here's the truth, nobody tells us facial puffiness isn't always about being tired, and it isn't just something you have to cover up or deal with. There are actually three very different types of puffiness, each with their own causes and solutions. And once you know which one you're dealing with, you can treat it the way an esthetician would, with knowledge, compassion, and real results. Education Expanded lets break down the three main types of facial puffiness so you can really understand what's happening beneath your skin. Once you know the asterisk why, asterisk, the solutions feel so much more empowering, like you're working with your body instead of against it. Asterisk asterisk type 1, fluid retention puffiness asterisk asterisk. This is the most common type, and it's usually the culprit behind that classic morning face when you first roll out of bed. Here's why it happens. While you sleep, your body is horizontal for hours. Gravity isn't pulling fluids downward the way it does when you're upright, so lymphatic fluid, the clear liquid that helps carry away waste in your body, can settle in your face, especially under the eyes. Add in things like a salty dinner, dehydration, or even crying before bed, and your skin can hold onto even more fluid. What can you do? Estheticians approach this with lymphatic drainage techniques. This doesn't have to mean fancy tools, though gua sha stones, jade rollers, or even chilled globes can be amazing. But truly, your hands are just as effective if you learn the right motions, gentle, sweeping movements that encourage circulation and guide fluid back toward your lymph nodes. Pair that with something cool, like a chilled spoon or even green tea bags, and you're giving your skin both stimulation and depuffing relief. Think of this puffiness like your skin saying, asterisk, I'm holding on to a little extra water. Please help me move it along. Asterisk, it's not permanent and it's not a flaw. It's just biology. Asterisk asterisk type 2, inflammatory puffiness asterisk asterisk. This kind of puffiness feels a little different. Instead of looking soft and fluid-like, it can feel a bit warm, irritated, or even tender. And that's because it's connected to inflammation, your body's way of defending itself. Triggers can range from seasonal allergies, to that new skincare product with a fragrance your skin didn't love, to sleeping in your makeup, or even an environmental factor like pollution. When estheticians see inflammatory puffiness, they don't rush in with harsh treatments. Instead, they focus on calming and soothing. Imagine your skin is like a friend who's overwhelmed. You wouldn't tell her to toughen up, you'd wrap her in comfort. That's exactly what this type of puffiness needs. Soothing ingredients like aloe vera, chamomile, oatmeal, or fragrance-free barrier creams can help calm the skin. Cooling masks or professional treatments that restore balance, like oxygen facials or calming LED therapy, are also popular in spas. The key is, don't fight fire with fire. Skip stripping cleansers, aggressive scrubs, or anything that will further stress your skin barrier. Inflammatory puffiness is your skin waving a little red flag, saying, asterisk, something irritated me, and I'm working hard to protect you. Asterisk, by listening instead of fighting, you can support healing rather than worsening the irritation. Asterisk asterisk type 3, lifestyle and hormonal puffiness asterisk asterisk now. This one is a little more complex, because it's not just about what you put on your skin, it's about what's happening asterisk inside asterisk your body. Yes, lack of sleep, monthly hormonal cycles, even alcohol or late night sugar binges can all contribute to puffiness that feels deeper and longer lasting. You might notice it not just under your eyes, but in your cheeks, jawline, or even around your temples. Estheticians often take a holistic approach here, because no amount of jade rolling will fully undo what your body is processing on the inside. The solutions can be gentle but powerful, prioritizing rest, balancing stress with practices like breathwork or yoga, staying hydrated, and supporting your body's natural rhythms. Massage, both professional and at home, can help, but so can something as simple as sleeping with your head slightly elevated to discourage fluid from pooling overnight. Hormonal puffiness especially deserves compassion because it's tied to cycles we often can't control. Instead of seeing it as something wrong with your face, recognize it as your body's incredible ability to respond to internal changes. With kindness, patience, and a mix of lifestyle tweaks plus topical care, this puffiness too can soften and ease. So when we talk about facial puffiness, it's not a one-size-fits-all problem. It's not something to fix with the harshest cream or the coldest ice roller. Instead, it's about listening. Is your skin holding on to extra water? Is it inflamed and asking for soothing, or is it reflecting your inner world, stress, hormones, or lack of rest? When you understand which type you're dealing with, you can treat it the way estheticians do, with knowledge, compassion, and an emphasis on balance. I want to pause here and get really real with you because puffiness isn't just a skin issue. It's something that can affect how we feel when we look in the mirror, and I know that because I've lived it. I remember one morning before an important work presentation, I had prepared everything, stayed up late rehearsing, and finally collapsed into bed. When I woke up, I expected to feel sharp and confident. But instead, I caught my reflection and thought, oh no, why does my face look so swollen? My eyes looked heavy, my cheeks felt bloated, and suddenly I wasn't thinking about my presentation, I was spiraling about my appearance. Maybe you've been there too. You're ready for your day, but puffiness makes you feel like you're dragging yourself behind. Sometimes it shows up after a salty dinner, sushi, ramen, or that late night bag of chips, and you wake up thinking, did I just sleep on a pillow full of water? Other times, it's after a good cry. You know those nights when emotions take over and you let the tears flow. There's relief in the release, but the next morning, your face tells the whole story with puffiness that feels impossible to hide. It's almost like your emotions are still sitting on your skin even after you've processed them, and then there are the moments that feel unfair. Like when you've done everything right, you drank your water, you went to bed early, you kept your skincare simple, and yet your face still greets you in the morning with puffiness. That's when it can feel defeating. I remember thinking, what's wrong with me? Why is my body betraying me? And that self-critical voice, it's so much harsher than anything anyone else would ever say to us. But here's what I've learned. Puffiness is something nearly everyone experiences, even if we don't always talk about it. I've had girlfriends whisper to me before a night out, do I look swollen under my eyes? I've had viewers DM me photos asking what they can do about their pillow face after a sleepless night, and honestly, when you start opening up about it, you realize how normal it is. We've all had those mornings, the big event, the date, the meeting where we wish our skin would just cooperate. One of the hardest times for me was during my hormonal cycle. I would wake up during PMS week with puffiness that just wouldn't go away, no matter what I did. I'd massage, I'd roll, I'd drink water, I'd even try sleeping sitting up once. Nothing made it vanish instantly. At first, I felt defeated, but then I reframed it. This is my body responding to hormones, not punishing me. That perspective shift was huge. It went from shame to understanding, and maybe you've noticed the same patterns. Maybe your puffiness shows up with stress, when you're running on 4 hours of sleep because your mind just wouldn't quiet down. Maybe it's seasonal allergies making your eyes puff up just when you want to feel fresh. Or maybe it's completely random and you catch yourself staring at your reflection thinking, where did this come from? Whatever the trigger, the feeling is the same. Puffiness can make us feel like we're carrying weight we didn't ask for. And I think that's why it matters to talk about it openly with empathy, because the truth is, it's not your fault. You're not doing skincare wrong. You're not lazy. You're not less beautiful. Your skin is just communicating something, whether it's I had a salty meal, I'm inflamed and sensitive right now, I need rest and gentleness. Once I started seeing puffiness that way, it stopped being something I judged myself for, and it became something with kindness. Now, when I wake up with that pillow face, instead of spiraling, I tell myself, okay, this is my body asking for care. Let's see what it needs today. Sometimes it's a glass of water and a few minutes of massage. Sometimes it's just compassion and not stressing about it at all. And I want you to know, if you've ever felt frustrated, embarrassed, or even defeated by facial puffiness, you're not alone. We've all been there. And together, we can take that moment of discomfort and transform it into an opportunity to listen to our bodies and care for ourselves with softness instead of shame. Here's what I want you to hold on to, and it's something I had to learn the long way. Puffiness does not define your beauty. It does not erase your worth, and it does not take away from the energy you bring into a room. Too often, we're taught to see little shifts in our skin puffiness, blemishes, dark circles as flaws that must be hidden or fixed. But what if instead we saw them as signs, as whispers from our body, gently asking for attention, rest, or nourishment? Think about it. Your skin is constantly working for you. It shields you from the environment, keeps your body balanced, and communicates when something is off. This is one of those signals. Instead of being a punishment, it's a message, I'm holding onto fluid, I'm a little inflamed, or I need care. And how powerful is it when we shift from judgment to compassion? Suddenly, puffiness isn't an enemy, it's an invitation to care for yourself more deeply. I know how easy it is to spiral when you wake up with a swollen face before a big day. Maybe you've thought, how can I feel confident like this? People will notice. But here's the truth. No one is scrutinizing you the way you do yourself. Others see your light, your voice, your presence, not the little bit of puffiness you're so worried about. And even if someone did notice, it doesn't make you less radiant. Real radiance has nothing to do with puff, free skin, and everything to do with how you show up. Estheticians know this, too. When you walk into their chair, they're not judging your skin. They're honoring it. They see puffiness, dryness, breakouts not as flaws, but as clues to help them support you, and you can do the same for yourself at home. Approach your mirror the way an esthetician would, with curiosity, gentleness, and love. Instead of saying, ugh, my eyes look so swollen, try asking, what might my body need right now? That one question changes the whole energy of your self-care routine. Beauty, at its heart, is not perfection. It's expression, it's care. It's the way you tend to yourself, the way you honor your needs, and the way you choose to present yourself to the world. Puffiness or any other skin change doesn't take that away. In fact, it can deepen your relationship with yourself, because every time you respond with compassion instead of criticism, you're building trust with your own body. You're saying, I hear you, I see you, I love you, and that's the kind of beauty that shines through everything. No gua sha tool, no serum, no ice roller required, though those can all be wonderful. True beauty is when you stand in front of the mirror and choose softness over shame. It's when you realize that skincare isn't about fighting your body, but about partnering with it. So the next time puffiness greets you in the mirror, remind yourself, this doesn't make me less beautiful. This doesn't take away from my confidence. This doesn't diminish who I am. Instead, it's a gentle signal. Maybe it's telling you to drink some water. Maybe it's reminding you to get more sleep. Maybe it's simply saying, slow down, breathe, and give yourself permission to rest. Your face is not betraying you. Your skin is not against you. It's on your side always, and you, my love, are not just a collection of features. You are an energy, a presence, a soul that people remember because of how you make them feel. No amount of puffiness can dim that. If you can hold on to that truth, then beauty becomes so much lighter. It's no longer a heavy list of shoulds and shouldn'ts, but a daily practice of listening, caring, and honoring. And when you show up with that energy, that deep self-love and compassion, people feel it. They don't see puffiness. They see you radiant, magnetic, unapologetically human, and profoundly beautiful. So let's reframe puffiness together, not as a flaw, but as a moment of communication, not as something to hide, but as something to honor, not as a sign of weakness, but as proof that your body is alive, adaptive, and always working with you. You are more than enough with or without puffiness. You are radiant, not because your skin is perfectly smooth, but because your heart is open, your spirit is kind, and you choose to love yourself in the process. That, to me, is the true essence of beauty. Sleep position puffiness. Now let's talk about a type of puffiness that often goes unnoticed but makes such a big difference. Sleep position puffiness. Think about it. We spend nearly a third of our lives asleep, which means the way we position our body for those hours has a major impact on how our skin looks when we wake up. You may have noticed that sometimes you roll out of bed, look in the mirror, and one side of your face looks puffier than the other, or your under eyes seem extra swollen, even though you didn't have salty food the night before. That, my friend, could be your sleep position speaking louder than you realize. Here's why. When you lie completely flat, gravity isn't working to pull fluid down and away from your face. Instead, it tends to pool in the soft tissues of the cheeks, eyelids, and jawline. And if you sleep on your stomach or with your face pressed against a pillow, you're not only encouraging fluid buildup, you're also applying pressure that can restrict circulation. The result, that pillow face effect in the morning, where your skin looks swollen, imprinted, or even uneven. I remember going through a phase where I loved sleeping on my stomach with my arms wrapped around the pillow. It felt cozy, almost like a hug. But every morning, my face told a different story. My cheeks were puffed, my eyes barely opened, and sometimes I'd even see a little puff on just one side of my face where I had been pressed all night. At first, I thought it was allergies or maybe something in my skincare routine. But once I learned about sleep position puffiness, it clicked. It wasn't my products or my body betraying me, it was my posture during rest. So, what can you do if this sounds familiar? Estheticians often recommend small but impactful changes. One of the simplest adjustments is sleeping with your head slightly elevated. This doesn't mean you need a mountain of pillows that leaves your neck aching in the morning. Just one supportive pillow or even a wedge pillow can give you that gentle. Our skin looks when we wake up. You may have noticed that sometimes you roll out of bed, look in the mirror, and one side of your face looks puffier than the other, or your under eyes seem extra swollen, even though you didn't have salty food the night before. That, my friend, could be your sleep position speaking louder than you realize. Here's why. When you lie completely flat, gravity isn't working to pull fluid down and away from your face. Instead, it tends to pool in the soft tissues of the cheeks, eyelids, and jawline. And if you sleep on your stomach or with your face pressed against a pillow, you're not only encouraging fluid buildup, you're also applying pressure that can restrict circulation. The result, that pillow face effect in the morning, where your skin looks swollen, imprinted, or even uneven. I remember going through a phase where I loved sleeping on my stomach with my arms wrapped around the pillow. It felt cozy, almost like a hug. But every morning, my face told a different story. My cheeks were puffed, my eyes barely opened, and sometimes I'd even see a little puff on just one side of my face where I had been pressed all night. At first, I thought it was allergies or maybe something in my skincare routine. But once I learned about sleep position puffiness, it clicked. It wasn't my products or my body betraying me, it was my posture during rest. So, what can you do if this sounds familiar? Estheticians often recommend small but impactful changes. One of the simplest adjustments is sleeping with your head slightly elevated. This doesn't mean you need a mountain of pillows that leaves your neck aching in the morning. Just one supportive pillow or even a wedge pillow can give you that gentle lift, helping gravity do its job and encouraging fluid to drain downward rather than settling in your face. Another tip, if you're a stomach sleeper, try transitioning to your back or side. I know, easier said than done. Sleep positions are habits built over years, and it can feel unnatural to change, but even small steps help. Some people place a pillow under their knees to make backs, sleeping more comfortable. Others hug a pillow at their side, which mimics that cozy, safe feeling of stomach sleeping without putting pressure directly on the face. And here's something that made a big difference for me: silk or satin pillowcases. They reduce friction, which means less tugging on your skin if you toss and turn, and they're gentler on the delicate areas around your eyes. Plus, they feel luxurious, like giving your nighttime routine an extra touch of self-care. Now, let's be honest, sometimes puffiness will happen no matter how perfectly you sleep. We're human and our bodies are dynamic, but knowing that sleep position plays such a role gives you another tool in your beauty toolkit. It shifts the story from asterisk, my skin looks puffy and I don't know why, asterisk, to asterisk, this is connected to how I slept and I know what I can do about it. Asterisk, that knowledge alone is empowering, because here's the thing, puffiness is not about chasing perfection. It's about understanding your body's rhythms and making small adjustments that support your skin's natural balance. Sleep is one of the most restorative things we do, and when we align our sleep posture with what our skin needs, we're not just reducing puffiness, we're honoring our body's need for care and comfort. So the next time you wake up with pillow face, don't spiral into self-criticism. Instead, see it as an invitation to check in. How did I sleep last night? Was my head flat? Was I pressing my face into the pillow? And then give yourself grace. Maybe tonight you try that extra pillow, or maybe you simply remind yourself that your body is allowed to look rested in different ways. Sleep position puffiness is just another reminder that beauty is connected to how we live, rest, and care for ourselves. It's not about never waking up with puffiness again. It's about building habits that make mornings feel gentler and skin feel supported. And most importantly, it's about treating yourself with compassion when puffiness does appear, because it's never a reflection of your worth, it's just your body asking for a little adjustment and a lot of love. Environmental puffiness expanded. Now let's explore another type of puffiness that often sneaks up on us, especially when we least expect it. Asterisk, environmental puffiness. Asterisk, unlike the kind that comes from salty food or lack of sleep, environmental puffiness is your skin's direct reaction. What's happening around you, the air we breathe, the climate we live in, even the invisible particles floating in our environment, they all have an effect on how our skin looks and feels. For example, have you ever noticed your face looking puffier during the summer? Hot weather naturally dilates our blood vessels. When those vessels widen, circulation slows and fluid can accumulate more easily in delicate areas like under the eyes or around the cheeks. Add in humidity, and your skin is basically holding onto that extra moisture like a sponge. What should feel like a fresh summer glow sometimes shows up as morning puffiness. On the opposite side, cold weather isn't innocent either. Harsh winds, dry air, or artificial heating can irritate the skin barrier, triggering mild inflammation. And what does inflammation look like? You guessed it, puffiness. Even if your skin doesn't look red or irritated, that subtle swelling can make your face appear heavier or less defined. Then there's pollution. Invisible to the eye, but felt so deeply by our skin. Fine particles in polluted air can cause oxidative stress essentially. Your skin's cells are fighting off little invaders. And in their defensive state, your skin can react with swelling and puffiness, especially around areas that are already delicate. I used to live in a city where smog was a daily reality, and I didn't understand why I constantly woke up with puffiness, even when my diet and sleep were on point. Once I learned about the environmental triggers, it was like a light bulb went off. It wasn't just me, it was my surroundings. So what can we do? Estheticians approach environmental puffiness with protection and prevention. Think of your skincare routine as armored, gentle but effective shields that help your skin cope with what the environment throws its way. One of the most powerful tools is antioxidants. Ingredients like vitamin C, green tea, resveratrol, and niacinamide act like bodyguards against pollution and oxidative stress. They neutralize the free radicals that come from smog, UV exposure, or even blue light from screens. By applying them consistently, you're helping your skin stay resilient, reducing the chance of reactive puffiness. Another simple but overlooked solution: rinsing your face after being outdoors in a polluted or humid environment. Even a splash of cool water or a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser can remove particles before they settle into your skin and cause irritation. Pair that with hydration, lightweight mists, calming serums, or even just a hydrating toner, and you're giving your skin relief from environmental stress. And let's not forget the power of temperature regulation. In the summer, keeping a facial roller or gua sha tool in the fridge can be your best friend. A cool massage not only feels soothing, but also encourages circulation, which helps drain excess fluid from heat-induced puffiness. In the winter, humidifiers can be lifesavers, keeping indoor air moist enough so your skin doesn't feel constantly irritated by dryness or heating systems. Here's a personal story. During a trip to a tropical country, I noticed every morning my under eyes were dramatically puffier than usual. At first, I panicked. Was it my skincare? Was I suddenly allergic to something? But then I realized it was the humidity, plain and simple. My body was adapting to a different climate, and my skin was holding onto more water as part of that adjustment. Once I started using lightweight, cooling gels and giving myself a few minutes of lymphatic massage in the mornings, the puffiness became manageable. That experience taught me that sometimes, puffiness isn't about what you're doing wrong, it's just your skin adapting to its environment. And that's the mindset shift I want for you too. Environmental puffiness isn't a failure. It's not a sign that you're neglecting your skincare or that your face is misbehaving. It's simply your skin reacting to its surroundings. And that's actually a sign of strength. Your body is responsive, alive, and always working to protect you. So instead of criticizing yourself when puffiness shows up on a hot, humid morning or after a day in a polluted city, try asking, what support does my skin need right now? Maybe it's a cool compress. Maybe it's a vitamin C serum. Maybe it's just giving yourself grace and acknowledging that your skin is doing its best in less than ideal conditions. When we reframe puffiness this way, it becomes less about hiding or fixing and more about honoring. Honoring your body's natural resilience, honoring the signals your skin gives you, honoring the partnership you have with yourself, even in environments that aren't perfect. At the end of the day, environmental puffiness is not a reflection of weakness or imperfection. It's proof that your skin is alive, responsive, and doing everything it can to protect you from the world outside. And when you respond with care, gentle products, mindful habits, and compassion, you're not just treating puffiness. You're building a deeper relationship with your skin, one based on respect and love. So the next time you notice puffiness staring back at you in the mirror, I hope you remember this. It isn't a flaw, and it isn't something to fight against. It's simply your skin communicating with you, whether it's fluid, inflammation, or your body asking for rest. And you, beautiful soul, have the knowledge now to respond with kindness, not criticism. Because beauty isn't perfection, beauty is care. It's the way you choose to nurture yourself, even on puffy mornings, and the way you show up in the world with compassion for your body and confidence in your spirit. If this video gave you clarity or comfort, let me know in the comments which type of puffiness do you notice most often. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep growing together in this feminine aura community. You are radiant, you are worthy, and you are more than enough today and always.